Hey everybody, Bohush here, the casual expert speaking for Fotodiox Pro. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Canon to Sony Fusion lens adapter, which is an incredibly useful auto lens adapter, a smart lens adapter that pro photographers and filmmakers all over the world are using every day. In fact, we're using one to shoot this video right now. The Fusion lens adapter has built-in technology that lets your camera and your lens talk to each other, which means that you can mount a Canon lens on your Sony camera and enjoy autofocus and automatic aperture control, image stabilization, and more. Occasionally, folks will ask us about how the Fusion lens adapter fits a specific application. And of course, we get questions that users may encounter while they're shooting with it. So we created this video to share our solutions to some of the most common questions. So here's a question. My lens has slow autofocus on the Fusion lens adapter, or I have a lens that doesn't seem to work at all. Well, the Fusion adapter only supports Canon branded lenses from 2006 through till today. Lenses older than that may not have autofocus functions, or autofocus may just not work on older Canon lenses, as well as third-party lenses like Sigma, Tamron, and Tokina, although you may get aperture control functions. See, the thing is, with older and non-Canon models, compatibility is kind of on a lens-by-lens basis. So your best bet is to check out our website and see our up-to-date list of Canon lenses that are compatible with the Canon to Sony Fusion lens adapter. Here's another one. I turn on my camera and the screen is black, or my screen suddenly freezes while I'm shooting. When your camera's screen goes black or freezes, that means it's lost contact with the adapter. And fixing this is really simple. Just press the lens release button on the camera and slightly unscrew the adapters if you are unmounting it. Then just twist it back until you hear it click into place. You should regain full communication with the lens and the adapter, and your camera screen should be fully functional again. Now, in the rare case that this doesn't work, you can reset the system. You remove the Fusion adapter, turn the camera off, and remove the battery for 10 seconds, and that resets the camera. It can also be helpful occasionally to clean the signal contacts on both sides of the adapter with technical-grade alcohol. That'll remove any debris that might be obstructing communication between lens and camera. Here's a question about switching between video and still modes, saying that sometimes it locks up my camera. The answer is to just partially unmount and remount the adapters we described a moment ago, and your camera will unfreeze. And if you want to avoid this problem in the future, we just recommend that you turn off your camera when you're changing between video and photo modes. It's important to note that Canon lenses don't have all the same autofocus abilities as Sony lenses. So you may run into occasions where the lens's performance is kind of different than what you're accustomed to when you mount a Sony lens on your camera. So let's talk about some autofocus questions. I can't use autofocus while recording video. Well, autofocus is disabled as soon as you start shooting video. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. However, it does operate between shots. So one procedure could be that when you're ready to shoot, you use autofocus to lock that desired focus point. And then when you start rolling video, that focus point will still be locked. So that's a way to use autofocus to help you before you start a shot. Now, if you need the ability to adjust focus during the shot, then we recommend that you set your lens to a manual focus mode. Another focus question, asking, I can't get the continuous autofocus to work in video mode. Continuous autofocus with the Fusion adapter is only supported in photo modes. Unfortunately, it's not supported currently in video mode. Okay, let's get into image stabilization, because we had a customer ask, image stabilization isn't working the way that I expect it to. The thing to remember is that Sony and Canon have different approaches to how they handle image stabilization. So you will occasionally find lenses that don't play nice with Sony's image stabilization system. There will be times when you have the best results using the lens's built-in image stabilizer, and other occasions when the camera's stabilization system is your best bet. A few minutes of experimentation will tell you what's best in your case. Finally, let's talk about aperture. Here's a question. My aperture readout is coming out wrong. Okay, so follow me on this one. Sony cameras display f-stops at third stop increments. So if you're shooting a Canon lens that has an f1.2 on it, that's in reality a half stop. So the lens will be wide open at f1.2, but the Sony can only display this as f1.3. You're still shooting at f1.2, but the Sony camera's display will report f1.3, and it'll appear in your metadata as f1.3 as well. We do have a procedure you can follow if you need your metadata to read f1.2. You set the EV dial on the camera to 0. Then go to Menu, Camera Settings, Exposure Step, and then set that to 0.5 EV. Here's another one. The aperture adjusts smoothly when closing the lens down to narrower apertures, but when opening up to wider apertures, I'm seeing occasional flashes of overexposure. This is normal behavior due to the way that the fusion adapter has to control the lens when stopping down. It won't affect your still photography. To avoid this effect when shooting video, we recommend adjusting your aperture between shots. Or you could also consider our Canon to Sony E-mount ND throttle fusion adapter, which has all of these automatic features, plus it has a built-in variable ND for those times you need to adjust the exposure during the shot itself. We hope that these tips help you get the most out of your Canon to Sony fusion adapter. And if you have any questions, you can always drop us a line at support@fotodioxpro.com. My name's Bahush. Thanks for watching.